don't know no better, I'm on this every day. You cannot run with me, boy, I'm a heavyweight. Baby, I know what's coming, I could barely wait. And when it was on, they wanted me gone, boy.
Today, from NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas, it's Week 2 of the NFL on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to Week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Texans. Taken at the 15, a short kick. The lane opens here. He's past the 30.
The Colts take over first and...
So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be under the command of the former Florida State Seminole, the #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston. Marlon Mack, his first carry of the game, and he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Give him... Three there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
Out of the gun, here's a give to Mack. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory.
49-yard line.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. And that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
On 3rd down, Winston. That's complete to his tight end, Higbee. And they do get this across midfield to the 49, but a small consolation prize as he's well short of the first.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
The Colts send out their punter. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. So here come the Texans now for their first drive. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. The numbers for him from a week ago, 16 carries, 67 yards.
Well, watching the film, we saw that things clicked pretty well for them in the running game last week. No reason to change in my mind. Continue to try and run the football, give it to them early and often in hopes of breaking down the defense so some bigger gains result as the game goes on.
They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on second down. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down. So week 2 of the NFL, and already a lot of questions about the quarterback position. We know there was competition for the starting spot in the preseason. Ultimately, they stuck with their man, but I'm not too sure anyone should read too deeply into how strong his hold is on the spot.
Well, it certainly hasn't been much of a secret that they haven't been enamored with his performance thus far, and you know they brought in competition to light a fire under him. I think that's backfired on them a little bit. I think he's pressed too much, and because of that, his performances haven't been what he's wanted, nor what the team has wanted.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Now a handoff here to his running back. And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
7-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They'll run on first down. Lions. And he was able to shed 1 tackle, but could not get away from there. Malik Harrison on the tackle.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd.
No score after 1 on EA Sports.
End of the first quarter with no score.
Five yards remain on second down. Operating from the gun. Cash. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. From the gun, Cash. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A 16-yard touchdown as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays right after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Now Doug Moreau not even hesitating. They're going to go for 2. And they don't get it. They tried for the 2-point conversion there, but unsuccessful. Should have been picked. Probably doesn't matter on a 2-point conversion, but still, as a former DB, you want to grab that ball when you can, don't you?
You certainly do, and don't say it, because I know you're thinking it. Don't say it.
What am I thinking?
You know what I know what you're thinking. Well, if he'd had hands, he'd be playing on offense.
That's true. You've said that before. Now a crease here as he's past the 30.
At their own 34-yard line.
Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
And right side, they're going to go option here. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things, get back to what works.
Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard.
So here are the Texans to take over. They're on top here. They've got the football 1st and 10, trying to erase the memory of the loss last week to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And to give this time to the tailback. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Brought down at the 20.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Darren Lee picks it, and he'll take this down inside the 15-yard line.
Intercepted by the Colts. They'll take over.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Following the interception, Winston. That is caught at the 7-yard line. Yeah, this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Brings up 2nd and 1 at the 5-yard line.
On 2nd down now, it's Mack, and he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line.
So that was a unit that understood exactly where the 1st down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space.
And he takes it in for a Colts score.
Touchdown.
Marlon Mack, his 1st touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Colts have tied things up. They can take the lead with the extra point. People always talk about one of his biggest strengths, running the football, vision, and he found the spot there, went into the end zone.
You're exactly right about that, and it wasn't just the vision, right? Once he saw the gap, decisiveness, made up his mind, and about the power to finish the play. Not only did he get good blocking, he created his own space as well.
And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
At their own 16-yard line.
Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's likely still kicking himself from the interception last drive that wound up leading to a go-ahead score.
And he's going to assume all that came with that one, all right? That's all on him, but he also knows he's got to erase it from his mind and get back out there. This drive, very important.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Cash throwing right, and that's complete. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. That's their 2nd, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this 2nd quarter. We'll be right back. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after. But it's going to be 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 10.
To throw again. Cash. And he whips that one incomplete there. He was looking to go back to Cooks one more time. 3rd down here.
Brings up 3rd down and 10.
Operating from the gun. Cash. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. It's a gain of 22 as we tick towards the 2-minute warning. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his 2nd week of the regular season. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Last play, they went over 20 yards. This time, they topped 30.
8-yard line.
I think this defense was still trying to recover from that last play, so you wonder if they were ready for this one. You have to imagine their defensive coaches are yelling at them to get focused, because if they don't, more plays like that will result in giving up points.
So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. From the gun, Cash. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Max Williams there to make the grab. And the Texans have retaken the lead. Now Doug Marrone not even hesitating. They're going to go for 2.
CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. A short kick taken at the 18. Oh, a good-looking return set up here.
Let's take over 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
The Colts now, their offense works their way back onto the field. And looking at this situation, Charles, you got more than a minute. You've got all 3 timeouts. Probably no need to play this safe.
So what you're saying is that we're doing a little bit of a mind meld here, aren't we? Because I'm thinking along the same lines as you. This amount of time, don't be compelled to play it too safe. This is a chance to get points on the board. Press it.
And the defense loses him. It's complete. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
To number 8.
A big play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Colts are once again going to retake the lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And now the clock reads precisely 1 minute to go in the half. You want to run the 1 minute offense? This is a good test right here.
It certainly is. Definitely not a time to think about kneeling and going into the half. This is a chance to attack a little bit, but not having to get everything in one shot either. 10 yards here, 15 there. Work the sidelines, work the clock, give yourself a chance for at least a field goal going into the half.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Another big play as they get 28 out of that way.
40-yard line.
And that one will fall incomplete.
Intended for
clock here now, just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
2nd and 10 at the
back to the air on 2nd down. Cash, and his throw here is incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
The Colts D sticking to their assignments, and that brings up 4th. The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. And he's going to look that one in one-handed. What a catch for the touchdown.
And that was a beautiful ball right there as he waited for his tight end to come uncovered in the end zone, so give him points for patience as well. Delivered it right where it needed to be for 6 points.
And the lead is up to 5. That time a 6-play drive. And it results in the Texans finding the end zone.
Colts 14.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. A short kick taken at the 18. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here.
Let's take over 1st and 10.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. And this won't get there. Won't be online either. It's no good. Off to the right. And this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
Oh, yeah, good job, fellas, good job.
So that would have been something from that distance, but to no avail. Comes up empty as we have reached the intermission. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is... And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half.
Set to kick off.
So the halftime break behind us, and we are back underway with the third quarter of action. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
First and 10. At their own 27.
Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. To throw on third down. Cash. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Give them 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. He got 29 yards that time. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. Incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
Hooker on the coverage.
Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Throwing again. Cash. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down.
Up a third down and 10 yards to go.
Off play action. Cash. And that's incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Facing a 4th down, they come away with 18 yards and the first down conversion.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it. So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Brandon Cooks there to make the grab. And the Texans will extend their lead. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the third quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is lets you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33.
3-yard line.
Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
5 brings up 2nd and 5.
From the 38, Winston. He completes this one to Mack. And some room to work. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Marlon Mack with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Colts have got it back to a 1-score game. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
15-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
And he rifles one incomplete.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and give the football right back because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
It's another first down as they look his way again, this time 19 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. On first down, it's Lyons. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
He's brought down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Throwing middle, and it's complete.
Complete.
5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the Colts' 31-yard line.
Operating from the gun. Cash. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 17-yard line. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. They'll run on first down. It's Lyons. And he'll manage to break a tackle and get this forward for a couple. It'll be second down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
This is caught. And the Texans are going to be set up with a first and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Texans will add on to their lead. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of the season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
Taken in the end zone, and it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.
25-yard line.
And the Colts getting ready to go. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the fourth quarter. This drive becomes very critical. A pass there over the middle to start things out. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can pull and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Brings up
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Winston now from the 50. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
Number 10. An 8-yard pickup. And a Colts first down.
A first down throw for Winston. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he's taken down inside the 30. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards.
1-yard line.
They'll throw again. Winston. And that one finds the ground, breaking a string of 5 straight completions. And it brings up 2nd down. No, third down.
And 2 yards.
Again, it's Winston. And able to find Higbee. It's complete. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
The 4-yard line.
Jameis again. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was in search of his tight end, Tyler Higbee. But it'll be 2nd and goal.
Brings up 2nd and goal.
They'll run it out of the gun with Mack. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. Now Howard. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line.
Short of the goal line. A gain of a yard.
The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Colts able to get this back within a touchdown.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
And the Texans set to come onto the field. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Looks like he'll throw here. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Darius Leonard, the linebacker.
Intercepted.
Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Now Winston. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts first down. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
First down.
Here's Winston. This will be caught just inside the 10.
Winston.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Winston to throw.
Never make the mistake of this.
Oh, no, he lost the football.
Jameis Winston.
Fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there. They're chance to score points, but the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
Winston to throw for it on fourth. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late.
The Colts will line up for the two-point conversion.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. And this is caught. And it's a three-point game. So they make the decision. They want a three-point lead versus a two-point lead, and they got it.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, it seems like the exact right thing to do. Put a little pressure on your defense, but the biggest thing now is you're making the other team chase you.
And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
At their own 18-yard line.
So now the Texans down on the scoreboard. A little over 30 seconds remaining. They've surrendered a double-digit lead, but can rescue themselves late as they come up on first down. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. Back to throw. He's got it. The tight end, Allen. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The Texans going to signal for their third and final timeout as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the fourth. Back to throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. It'll be a gain of 24 on the play, and it'll result in a fresh set of downs. Offensively, back-to-back really nice plays. This defense, they've got 2 timeouts, maybe should burn one.
Yeah, when you get back-to-back explosive plays, to me, anything over 10 yards, I don't care if it's a run or a pass, I count it as an explosive play. That sets your defense back on its heels. A timeout here would be a good idea and try and get themselves settled because we're in OT. This is big time.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. So long from Houston.
It was definitely not the showing I'd hoped for. And the press were ready to grill me at the post-game interview. I gave my answer. But as I left the podium, I overheard the reporters talking about getting a quote regarding the controversy from the coach.